Hi, my name is Nicole, and thank you so much for joining me today for another flow. Today we're going to be focusing on a flow that you can do right before going to sleep at night to help you wind down and get into the best, most restful sleep that you can possibly get into. A lot of these positions are going to be prone, so laying down on our backs. So this is a really great flow that you can do in bed right before you go to bed. So the theme of this flow is rest, relaxation, winding down, and allowing our bodies to get the rest that they need, and then being able to apply that in other areas of our lives. So maybe looking at life at our spiritual bodies and saying, where can I allow myself to relax? Or my other bodies, my spiritual, intellectual, mental bodies, are they overstimulated consistently? Do they ever have downtime? And what can you do in turn, if you'd like to do anything, to make sure that you're getting that rest and that relaxation so that we're not constantly on all the time. Without further ado, we will get into today's practice. No blocks needed, and this will be about 15 minutes. So let's get started. And I had something in my back. My dog brought me a little surprise. We're going to lay down fully on our backs, coming into our corpse pose, or you can take a resting pose here, bringing the feet out to the width of the mat and the knees falling into each other. Keeping one hand on the heart and maybe one hand on the diaphragm, or you can bring both palms to face the sky as they frame the hips, whichever option is yours. And we're just going to take some restorative breaths here. So we're going to breathe into the nose, big breath in, and out through the mouth. Good. We want to make sure that when we take these breaths, we're inviting as much breath in and exhaling as much breath as we possibly have within us. So another couple rounds of breath as we breathe in nice and deep through the nose and through the mouth. Good, keep going, 2 more rounds. Good, last one. Imagining yourself winding down for the night, and then you're starting to tune in to that frequency of peace and rest. And we're going to go straight into it. So you have a couple options with the hands here. You can keep your hands up overhead, you can keep them in fists down below, but basically what you're going to be doing is bringing your feet to touch, knees touch, and then as you open, you're going to let the knees and the hips fall down to either side. Now, if this is a bit much for the hips, you can use hands or pillows to place underneath the knees. And then hands have a couple options. Otherwise, you can continue to keep one hand over heart, one hand on top of your diaphragm. You can bring your hands under your head if you'd like. Give the neck and the head a little bit of support here. Or you can simply let the hands lay face up on either side of the hips. So to hold this pose, we're going to hold it for about 6 deep breaths, holding this a little bit longer than a typical vinyasa, almost like a yin here. So feel free to close your eyes, start to feel that relaxing breath flow through you, and the heartbeat start to get into a really calm, sweet rhythm. You to use the hands and bring the knees back to touch, and then you're going to kick off from the ground, bringing the knees into the chest, just wrapping your hands around the knees, little gentle back bend here, holding for another 60 breaths. If you'd like to take a variation, you can kind of roll side to side, kind of like a rocking motion. Imagine rocking yourself into a nice deep slumber. Or maybe even giving the back a little bit of compression, tiny little back massage here, releasing any tension in the back. 5 more deep breaths. coming back to our neutral position, we're going to place the hands down on the bed or mat and just lift the legs straight up. We're going to flex our toes towards our head, and we're going to hold this pose here another 6 deep breaths. If you have a wall in your room and you're not quite in bed yet, I have a wall, I will show you. This is also a really nice restorative pose. So you can just bring your feet up along the wall and let the wall do the brunt of the work here, holding for another 4 deep breaths. If you are along the wall, go ahead and turn yourself back to the long edge of your bed, mat, whatever you're using today. Keeping those legs up, you're going to reach up with your hands and invite your knees in towards your armpits. As your feet approach, you're going to grab by the feet and gently pull the knees in towards the armpits, coming into our happy baby. From here, again, option to always rock back and forth or just hold a prone happy baby. A couple breaths here. Releasing the feet, letting the feet come back down to the bed or mat. You're going to drop the left leg down to the mat or bed, kick up with the right knee, bring it into the chest, big squeeze here, 2 deep breaths. Good, and then using the left hand, you're going to guide that right knee over to the right side, and the right hand is going to stretch out over to the right, looking over your right shoulder. If you don't have enough space for this, if you take a bend, 90-degree bend at the elbow, still looking over that right shoulder, and again, always place a hip under that, You can always place a pillow under that knee if you'd like a little bit more support here. 5 deep breaths. Really trying to keep that right shoulder and that left shoulder on the ground as well. Bring that knee back into center. We're going to give it a final squeeze here. And then gently send it down back to the bottom of the mat or bed. And then we will switch sides. So left knee comes in, big squeeze here, 2 deep breaths. There you go. Taking the right hand to the left leg, bringing that knee over to the right side. The left hand comes out to the left side, keeping that shoulder on the ground. Another 5 to 6 deep breaths here. That leg right back up to neutral. One final squeeze of the knee. And exhale. Bringing it down to rest here. From here, we're going to bring our feet right back onto the mat. Knees pointing to the ceiling. Take one more final stretch by bringing the right ankle over to the top of the left knee. Kicking off with the left foot and bringing our hands under the loop of our right leg to come onto the left knee. You can always grab a strap, or you can even grab under the knee on this back part of the left leg if that's a little bit more accessible to you. And we're going to hold here, trying to keep this knee from coming in. 3 breaths. Very good. Straighten that leg, reach for the back of the knee, pull it in just a little bit more, 3 more breaths. Very good. You can lower that leg down, bring the right leg down to the floor to meet it, and then from here, take one big overhead stretch, flexing all the way from the fingers to the toes. Coming back, we're going to do the other side, so bringing the feet to the width of the mat. Left ankle comes onto the right knee, kick off with the right knee from the ground, loop under, see what you can grab, pull in, and hold here, 3 deep breaths. Very good. Straighten that right leg, 3 more breaths, grabbing behind that right knee. And lowering that right leg down to the floor, uncrossing the legs. Palms face up as they frame the hips, coming into your Shavasana, your corpse pose. If you'd like to as well, this is the last thing you're going to do before you get into bed. You can even roll onto one side. You can bring a pillow between the legs if that supports you. Bring your arm under your head. Just kind of lay here as we finish up this class. Now, as we are laying down, getting ready for bed, I will not ask you to return to a seat once I am done, or once we're done with our flow today. Instead, I'll just ask that you close your eyes, allow your breath to keep that really wonderful, calm energy it has about it, and imagine sending that throughout your whole body. So as you take nice deep inhales, imagine inviting in this really calm and loving energy that's lulling you to sleep. And as you exhale, imagine any obligations that you may feel are stressing you for the day or plaguing you for tomorrow, and release them. As you inhale, invite in rest and relaxation. And as you exhale, release obligation, release pressure, and release judgment. A couple more inhales as again you invite in a beautiful REM cycle full of wonderful dreams and a deep restorative sleep. Exhaling to release all expectations we may hold of ourselves, all duties, obligations. Last big inhale as we imagine the kind of rest we are going to have tonight. And as we exhale, allow the body to come into full rest, full relaxation, checking with the eyes, the mouth, the hands, making sure we are not willingly holding on to any tension by tightening. And if we find that we are, no judgments, release it at this time, because you deserve to take a rest. You deserve to take a break. Sorry. From here, I am going to wish you nothing but a restful sleep, a wonderful night, so that you can wake up tomorrow and take on the day with a new pair of eyes, maybe some new perspective, but most importantly, feeling rested and rejuvenated. Thank you so much for flowing with me this evening. It was my honor and pleasure. Namaste, Yogi, and I will see you next time.